I remember when I was clueless about spending money. I still remember this one day where I was at my grandparents' house and I was in the living room, and in front of me on my desk was my laptop. And I was looking online at phones. I wanted to buy a phone. I saved up a bit of cash, and nobody taught me how to spend money. And I was looking online at buying a new phone. I didn't need a new phone. I didn't need it, but I wanted it. I thought, yeah, that's the best decision because everyone else was doing the same thing. I was following everyone else, and that's the wrong thing to do. I never learned how to spend money, and it wasn't until I discovered three questions that I always ask myself before buying something that helps me decide if I want to buy it or not, if it's really useful or not. And most people make the same mistake as I did. They save up a bit of cash and they instantly go and spend it on something else. They don't think about it. They have the money and they think, oh, I need to spend it, I need to spend it. And they go at the mall and they buy Nike and they buy an iPhone and they buy a MacBook or something. They buy things that they don't need. And most people are on the other extreme. They go online and they buy OnlyFans. They put money in video games. They go and buy junk food. They buy tons of food that's unhealthy, that's harming them without even thinking about it. They have the money and they need to spend it. They need to reward themselves for getting the money. Look at your life and look at your investments throughout the whole years. What have you been investing money on? Was it really smart things, like things that entrepreneurs buy, for example? Or was it normal people things like sneakers, clothes, fucking phones, food? In what category were you? Because if you're in this category, if you're buying useless things, especially if you're putting money into video games, bro, you're doing something wrong. You need to think about your life and really think about it. And don't let your mind think, oh, it's okay. He isn't talking about this. Oh, this is fine, bro. Don't worry about it. You need to be really realistic and you need to let your ego down and really think, is this acquisition the best thing for my life? Did I spend money wisely here? Because the first step to fix a problem is to realize that there's a problem in the first place. You need to look and see if you've been spending money right or wrong. And when I talk about investing money for young people, I'm not talking about the S&P 500 or stocks or crypto or something. I'm talking about things that will literally change your life. But not these things, because you should invest in these things when you do have the money. Because when you're young, you don't really have that much money. You don't really have that much capital. And you can't go and spend a lot amount of money on S&P 500. To make money out of that, you need a huge amount of cash firsthand. But if you're young and you have $100 to your name, you barely get any money out of it. So I'm not gonna waste your time with telling, oh, the S&P 500 at this time is gonna be the best investment. No, no, no. I'm talking about real things that will literally change your life. So let's say you're broke, you barely have any cash, and you want to invest it, you want to spend it, you want to buy things that will help you. You need to ask yourself three questions, three things you need to keep in mind, three categories that will make you understand if the purchase is good or if it's bad. And the secret is to invest in yourself. To get the most out of your cash, you need to invest in yourself. And by thinking about these three categories, you will know if you made the right decision. The first one is experiences. You need to think if what you're going to buy is going to be an experience. This is the most acceptable thing to spend your money on because you gain new experience. Like if let's say you are thinking about jumping out of a plane, that's really good because you need memories. You need stories to tell. Imagine having grandkids and not having a story to tell them. Oh, when I was little, I was playing 24 hours of video games a day. That's not gonna be cool, bro. Imagine telling them the story of that one time where you got out of a plane in the air. Like, bro, that's gonna be so cool. They're gonna think so highly of you. It's okay to spend cash when you go out with your friends and like go to a party or something. It's okay. That's really fine. And don't cope and say, oh, I'm going to the bar alone and that's an experience, so I can buy as much alcohol as I want to drink alone. No, no, no. An experience usually consists of many people. But if, let's say, you want to do the skydiving thing, if you want to jump out of a plane, you mostly do that alone. Or you could do it with another person as well. But if you want to do it alone, it has to be kind of extreme. So jump out of a plane, go scuba diving, climb a mountain. You can do these alone, but they're extreme. Or you can go to a party, you can go to a club, you can go to a concert with your friends, and that's an experience. It's really fun. It's really good to spend money on these things. Bro, who cares if you're out with your friends and you spend $100 on drinks? Who cares? You're with your friends, you're having fun. But it's a problem when you go out alone and you pay $100 to the drinks for you to drink alone. That's a problem. That's not an experience. That's depression. That's stupid, bro. You need to look before buying something if it's an experience. You think, is this gonna make me a long lasting memory? Is it gonna be something new I try? If you go to a new country, that's an experience. That's fine. It's okay to spend your money on that. But make sure to not do it too often. Because if you go out to party with your friends every day or every week, it's gonna lose its value. It's not gonna be worth it. But let's say you go to a concert. There's a huge concert in 6 months, and you save money for that. That's perfect. That's beautiful because then it will be hype. It will be awesome. You will go and you'll have so much fun because you've been waiting for that concert for months. That's acceptable. That's really good. You need to invest in your memories, in experiences. The second thing is knowledge. You saw this one coming. So go out there and buy books. Don't be afraid to spend money on books, on courses, on things that will make you smarter, on things that will learn you things. Because of course it's okay to buy books. What dumbass told you to not buy books ever? Nobody. Everyone tells you to buy more books because they're really useful. Because books make you smarter and they will help you in the long run. Imagine buying 10 books on entrepreneurship and in 5 years, because you've been studying those books inside out, you become a really successful entrepreneur. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't you learn something that will help your life? And even the fiction books are really good because you're developing your mind. You're literally developing. It's impossible not to develop when reading. It doesn't matter what you read, bro. But don't cope and say, oh, I'm reading the text on TikTok shorts, bro. Don't be that dumbass. Don't be like those people that are saying this. My brothers are telling me this all the time. Oh, I'm actually reading the comments on every single TikTok. Shut up, bro. You're dumbass. In my opinion, literally buying knowledge, like books and courses, it's the best investment for you in the long run. Experiences are the best investment in the short run, but knowledge is the best investment in the long run. So make sure you utilize this advantage. Because most people are dumb. Most people haven't opened a book yet. So if you read one book a year, bro, you're better than half of the Earth's population. Barely anybody is reading these days. It's becoming more and more rare. The attention spans are growing lower and lower. All because of TikTok, Instagram, short form content. People are getting dumber. But you need to get better than all of them. You and me, bro. We need to get better than all of them. And it's not that hard. If you literally read 30 pages a day from a book, you literally became better than 90% of people on this earth. If you read one book a month, you're better than 80, 90% of people. Maybe even 95%. It's really easy to get ahead of everyone, especially with reading, because you are seeing people that have fucked up attention spans. You try to speak with them, and they look at you, and you literally see in their eyes that they're not paying attention. You see in their eyes that they're thinking about something else. Or even worst case scenario, they open their phone and scroll on TikTok while talking to you. They're too addicted. You see on the public transport, on the streets, people are literally walking like this with their phone down, looking at Instagram and TikTok, being absorbed, hypnotized by TikTok and Instagram. They don't have the attention span to read the damn book. You can get ahead of everyone, bro. Buy books. It's literally the best investment ever. And the third one is saving time. Nobody told you this, but one of the best investments, even maybe better than knowledge, is saving time. Why do I say it's almost better than knowledge? Because if you save time, you have more time to become more smarter. If you only do one or the other, then it's kind of But if you do both, if you start saving time and using that time to become smarter, you will get ahead of everyone. And I will explain to you how I think about saving time with a story. 2 weeks ago, I realized that I was spending so much time on public transport. I was wasting so much time on public transport. Because imagine me having to wake up every single time, go from my house to the tram, having to walk 15 minutes to the tram in dark because the sun hasn't come out yet. And then I would have to sit in the tram for an hour in traffic because my school it's at the opposite side of the city and I have to spend an hour in traffic. Imagine wasting 1 hour and 15 minutes just going to school and then the same story going back. It's even worse when I was getting back home because more people were coming home. So I was spending more than 2.5 hours on public transport alone. And most of the time was wasted because I was almost never productive. I was most of the time reading, but I was usually listening to music because the trams were always full of people. And I didn't even have the space to open my phone to read or something. It was awful. And I looked at that and I thought, how can I save more time? I don't have a car. So I thought the next best thing is an electric scooter. And I bought one. It was really expensive, but now I spend around 30 to 40 minutes commuting to school. And I have more freedom because I'm not constrained by the public transport. It's in my control if I'm late or not. Before this, I was usually late just because of the public transport, because of the traffic. But now I leave the house at the same time, and I know I'm gonna be at school at the exact same time every time. So I cut the time from 1 hour and 15 minutes to school to 40, to 35, 40, depends on the weather. You can also do this to your life as well. You can look at your life and see what is wasting me time. Maybe it could be the same story about the public transport. Maybe it's the transport for you. Maybe it's the gym that you're going to. You're wasting half an hour every day just to get to the gym. When I was going to the gym, I was wasting more than an hour just to go to the gym. So imagine my daily routine was literally going to school, an hour and 50 minutes. Then from school, I would go to the gym, spend an hour in traffic as well. Then from the gym, I would go home. Another hour lost. I was wasting 3 hours every day on public transport. How much time do you think? Bro, imagine the time I was wasting every day. It's surreal. And now I'm only going to school and back. So an hour and what, 20 minutes lost compared to 3 hours. I literally cut my time in half. You can look at your life and see what is wasting me time. It could be public transport, it could be some random like video game, it could be the place of your gym, your school. Find that and then find a way to save time with it. It's really simple, and if you get into the habit of doing this, you will save hours throughout the whole week, which can be used to getting more knowledge, being more smarter. And the best way to learn is through a mentor. So you can join my private community where I can speak directly to you and I can teach you how to implement these tactics to get better and how to improve your life. You'll literally be able to talk to me. So click the first link in the description, bro. And one bonus tip is spending money on your well-being. And I didn't put it on the list because you usually need more money for this. If you have more money to spare, then spend money on this. But if you're really broke, spend money on these three things that I told you about. But you could spend your money on your well-being as well. You can look at something before buying it and thinking, is it gonna make my life better or not? specifically health wise. Is it gonna make my life better? And for example, a few days ago, I was looking for a metal water bottle because you know how plastic kills you. And I thought, is it gonna save me time? Not really, bro. Is it gonna be an experience? What? Buying a water bottle is gonna be an experience? No. Or is it gonna make me smarter? Probably not. I don't think a metal water bottle will make me smarter. That's what I thought. But it is gonna make my life better. It's gonna make my health better to drink water from metal, like from a metal water bottle. So you could think the same about supplements or metal water bottles. It could be anything. If it isn't in those three big like categories, and if it's in this one and you have the money, of course, go and buy it. But as I said, most things that will make your life better are kind of expensive. So that's why I put it as a bonus. And I want to tell you a disclaimer. If you really need to buy something, if you really need to buy something, like let's say food, for example, or if you really don't have any clothes left, of course, go and buy it. I'm not going to be sitting here, oh, don't buy food because it's not going to save you time. Bro, buy food, buy things that you really need. If you really need a book for school, go and buy it. This, just use some common sense, but don't think the same and don't cope and say, "Oh, I really need those Nike shoes because, bro, buy some other shoes. Buy other shoes. You don't need to buy Nike shoes specifically. Oh, I need to buy that Nike t-shirt because it's gonna look good on me, bro. You can find the same shirt at half the price. You're on a budget. You don't have the money for it. Why are you spending more money than you should on things that you don't need? So don't compare and actually think. Don't let your mind get over you and tell you, oh, you really need this. Before buying anything, ask yourself this: is this an experience? It should be memory making. It should give you memories, good memories. And if it can be with other people, it should be with other people. Is it gonna make me smarter? Books, courses, as I said. Or is it gonna save me time? Ask yourself these questions and you will get ahead of everyone. Because you will realize that you will not need the junk food. You will not need to buy the soda at the supermarket. You don't need to buy the sweets. They will not help you health wise. Just ask yourself these questions and you will get ahead of everyone. And as I said, I have a private community where I can teach you how to implement these things and how can you improve your life in the fastest way possible. You will save so much time with that. Because imagine my YouTube videos. They could be really helpful. But imagine how much better I could help you if I know your story and I can give you advice specifically for you. And it's not like you really want to get girls. I could post one video every 2 weeks about getting girls. That's not going to help you. It could, but it's not going to be that impactful. Imagine talking to me and I give you advice specifically for your situation, for your attachment style, for you, the girl that you're talking to. It's gonna be beautiful. Join the Elite Tribe, the first link in the description. If you enjoyed the video, scroll down and click on the subscribe button, bro. It will help both of us, especially you. Go watch the video, bro. See you later. Mwah.